Hi everybody, Kirk here with Space Pickle Designs, and today I have something in my brain that I just need to try out. So I do have a mental image of what I want to do, but it all came about when I saw this ceramic pendant, and I was like, I got this in one of my eBay hauls, and it's not something that I would typically reach for. Dragonfly motif is not one that I'm like super into. I do think it's pretty, it's just maybe not exactly my style. However, I wanted to try to make it work, and I think what we're going to do is just make it super funky. So ceramic in general already has that kind of earthy textured feel, and so we're going to Space Pickle Designs it up a little bit. We're going to go with a mixed metal here. We're going to go with bronze and gold. I have some pearls here to mirror that like earthy element, and then I have this bead mix that has just been kind of sitting around, but I think I like all these colors together. There's a lot of like really deep jewel tones. I got a variety of findings back here, some big statement jump rings, and I also have some jump rings that I have made myself, and so these will be, I got some bronze ones, I got some green ones that could possibly work. And then I've got like mixed metal ones here, so it's like a bronze and a gold. And so those are a lot of fun to make and kind of add that little extra zest to your piece. And so I'm going to set those off to the side. I have the All That Glitters kit over here off to the side in case I want to pull a couple components from there, because we are using that same like bronze and gold metal tone. So we'll see what we need, but I don't foresee needing a bunch of crystals, which is what I primarily have in here. So yeah, we probably won't use this guy, but we might use some of those fire polish beads that are in there. Those would be really cute. And maybe some of that, those artisan beads. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I want to start with the pendant piece, so I will clear a bunch of this stuff off and bring you down. Let's go ahead and get this guy off of the card, and these are some trash pliers, don't worry. They can barely cut this. They're my secondary pliers for this very purpose. All right, and we have two sides to this pendant. We have a more brown side and we have a more green side. I will probably go with the more green side. And I want to attach this to a charm. I want the charm to kind of be in the middle there. And so in order to get that to kind of hang correctly, I am going to have to put a jump ring and then another jump ring, I believe. So let's go ahead. I think I want to go with probably the mid-size jump ring if I can, because we are going to be adding length with this. And so I'll bring in some lighter gauge. These are a 6mm jump ring. And especially with this color, I believe it's like pretty important to put that anti-tarnish coating on it. And so let's see what we can do. I'm gonna leave that open for now while I get these on here. If I can put two, I will. Just putting my smaller jump ring on, closing it up for now. If we want to add embellishments later, if we need it, we think it needs just a little something, we'll do that probably at the end. So this is not going to work with two jump rings, that's okay. But I will feed this on directly, and it will probably work, but it is competing. I wish I had some smaller ones, like a 4mm. That could be cool. We'll see what this looks like. It'll be its own mini chain. If this doesn't look right, we will use a little bit of chain. And so that makes it lay just a little bit flatter, and I think it looks all right. Actually kind of puts it square in the middle, which is kind of nice. So here's our pendant so far. My vision is to have one side with chain and pearls and the other side with just a crazy boatload of beads. And so we'll get started making some of those pearl components. Now these are freshwater pearls, and if you are familiar with freshwater pearls, you will know that the drill hole on these are usually pretty small, and that is the case with these. So I do have to pull out my 24 gauge wire because that's really what's going to be working. And I'm going to do wrapped loops because this is craft wire. And so I really don't have much of a choice because of how thin the gauge is. Just to have some, you know, sturdiness to it, I will be doing wrap loops. And I'll probably do 3. And then cut. Pull my pearl down. Have my pliers here. And just make sure your pearl is securely right there in the middle. All right, so there's the first link. Let's get another pearl. And with this, I'm going to go about this big. Cut a little bit off here. Right, and before I attach, I'm going to put the other link on. Keep reaching for my dull nippers. All right, and then last one. So I want to make a third link for the pearl here. Down. Attach a third pearl. Okay, so here are the 3 pearl links, and these are just so cute. They're just very dainty. It's a lot different than what I normally do, but I'm going to make a couple of these components probably 2 more of these, and I will meet you back. So I have my 3 pearl components, and I'm gonna set those off to the side so that we can decide what to do with those. I have an idea, but I have my component, or my pendant, my 3 pearls, and then now I just kind of wanna dump my beads out here. And unfortunately, because it's going to be a lot more work for me, I do believe that these are going to look best linked together to kind of bridge the gap between the chain on the one side and then the chain with the pearls on the one side and then just the beads. So I am going to just take my, I think I'm going to take my 20 gauge, because this, I'll be able to use 20 gauge on this. This is going to be gold 20 gauge, and I'm just going to do simple loops on these. And I will add in like little bronzy components every now and again. I got some bead caps. I got like little leaves. And I definitely want to use one of these. I got like a feather. It's like a little feather link. I think those would be super cool. And so I think on this side, I'm just going to have a beaded chain with a feather link in there at one part, and then on the other side I'll have 3 chains with pearl sections in there on the other side, so it's going to be asymmetrical. So if you haven't seen me use my the spool method, I'm just working off the spool. So I do have my bead on. I'll zoom you in a little bit. I do have my bead on, as you can see. And then these are going to be a little bit more chunky than the pearls. Make your simple loop, pull down, and I like to have my loops going the same way with my links. So I'll just bend it, measure how long I want my loop to be, and then go in and make that loop. All right, so now you have your loop. You can do your little micro adjustments if it's a little off. Mine was just slightly off, but here's your link. And I like these because you can just kind of mindlessly do your links, and then you can arrange them how you need to because they're not wrapped. So this is what I will continue to do until I think I have enough for at least 8 inches of beads. Because I may decide to put chain on the back end. Probably not, though. This is a bead mix that I would probably use for not, another purpose. So might as well use some of these beads. All right. So this one is like a little misshapen. We'll forego her. I want to just like focus on some of these like really cool like jewel tones. I think this one could do with a little bit of a metal bead on each side. And I like this because it does bring in that bronze as well. So don't forget to add some metal beads in here. That's what's going to make it like real funky. And I always like to square off my ends. And with this one, you might need just a little bit of help. I like to take my pliers and then push over. That leverage kind of helps. Straighten out your loops. Put that off to the side. Let's go for a, oh, this one's cool. Put like a little baby bead cap on this one. A little spacer. Look how tiny that is. These are like the little details that'll just elevate your piece a little bit. But it's not necessary. You're still gonna have a really cool piece regardless. Alright, so I do want to pick one more to do on camera, and I like this pearl. Does it need something? It might need a, let's do bead cap. Well, I don't even think it's a pearl, it's like a pearl coated glass. So not even like a crystal pearl or anything. But I do like that deep burgundy tone. Like again, we're going for those rich colors. Ooh, I like that mixed tone. This is just what makes it fun. I do love that. I think this one's a stunner. All right, here's our little pearl. And so here are the ones that I have so far. Again, what a beautiful little just jewel tone mix. And so I'm going to keep picking out some more of these and just doing the same thing, and then I will meet you back. So I've kind of laid out my design. There's a lot going on here, but I kind of just want to get started. I did want to use a toggle in the front, but I wanted it to move a little bit away from the pendant. So I did want to add also a little acorn charm to the pendant. I'm going to do that with an additional jump ring. Okay, and on this pendant, I am just going to add it on top right there. So I had a little acorn, and now it's like just a little acorn with a little nest. And so this will remain my middle piece, and I'm going to be attaching probably this part here with a smaller little jump ring like this. But we can go ahead and start making the chain. So all we're gonna do is, I've already laid out the kind of the design I want, and we're just gonna be opening and closing links. So I will do a little satisfying fast forward moment for you, so you can see me kind of make this. And as you can see, it's all gonna be one little length until we get here. So we'll stop right here. What I want to do next is kind of focus on this part here. So we've already got our chain done. What I did with our pearl components is I did one length with pearl, 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 and then 6 links of chain. Then the middle one is 3, actually this is 4 links. I'll have to take one of those off. 3 links of chain, 3 pearls, 3 links of chain. And then another one that starts with 6 links of chain and 1 pearl. Let me go ahead and take this off because this is the 4th link. All right, so yeah, those best laid plans, right? Sometimes they still don't quite work out. So I'm gonna take this smaller jump ring. I'm gonna feed my links, I guess, components in this order. Pearl, 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 the 6 links, the 3 and 3, and then the 6 and 0 links. And I'll go ahead and put it on my major jump ring. So I want to keep the layout here because I will be stringing it the same way on the other side. So I want to make sure that I get them correct. I'll go ahead and put my little bead on here. And this will be just a little bit funky. It's just like a little playful area of the necklace. All right. And we'll see if I can attach my component with this. Probably not. Yeah, I'm not going to push that. I'm going to get another regular jump ring. Got my toggle bar. Okay. And so this side is ready to be joined with the other. Do another jump ring on that. All right, so we have that. And now we need to connect this bead here in the middle to our loop. And what I want to do is make sure, right, so I will need a jump ring for this. I think this one's big enough to where we can use maybe this small. Yeah. So I just attached the loop all together there. So let's see how it lays. So thankfully the pendant is heavier. And so let me zoom out. Okay, I want to make sure. So if our feather component is looking like it's naturally going to want to lay behind, we can make that work. All right. So yeah, just make sure your feather's kind of laying where you want it to lay. And oh my goodness, do you guys like it? I think I could be in love. I think I could be in love. It was a lot of work. I mean, it was one evening's worth of work, which is fun. But it's a special one. It is a special one, in my opinion. And so, how do you feel about it? Zoom you out just a touch, if we can. Nope. All right. So here she is. I love her. I think just having 2 or 3 points of focal. So we have our eyes here some. We have our eyes here a little bit. And I mean, you could add more dangles if you want, but I think just leaving it as like, hey, this is kind of like the cool part, being that it's like the pearl accents. It kind of plays off the pearl in the nest and the charms and then all the like different types of beads. I think I just love it. So I will get you some up close and personal video shots of this piece. And I hope you're staying safe and well. I hope you like this one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.